Sarawak to host Unity Week in May. Impact of labour shortage in delay of projects. And pending procurement on proposed cancer centre. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Shal Shamato, and this is TVS Nightline. Sarawak is set to host the inaugural Unity Week celebration this May. In announcing this, Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fadzil said that the Cabinet had agreed for the government to hold the celebration. Fahmi, who is also the Unity Government spokesperson, said that the details of the celebration will be announced by National Unity Minister Dato' Aaron Argo Dagang. Fahmi added the celebration is part of the Unity Government's efforts to prioritise elements of unity within the community, which is important in creating a stable environment and attracting foreign investors. Meanwhile, a shortage of workers has caused the construction of the second Batang Lupa Bridge project near Sri Aman to fall behind schedule. The 223.6 million ringgit project is facing a 96-day delay. As such, the Ministry of Infrastructure and Ports Development and the State Public Works Department will continue to talk to contractors to help them in solving this issue.
Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Ugahambas said this was to allow them to complete their projects as scheduled and with the expected quality. The 223.6 million ringgit and 870-meter-long span cable bridge is facing a 96-day delay in its construction due to workers' shortage. Undertaken by the Naim Gamuda Naga Joint Ventures, the 870-meter-long span cable bridge is scheduled for completion by November 24, 2024. However, the projected completion date is now February 28, 2025. Uga, who is also the Ministry of Infrastructure and Port Development Minister, told the media after visiting the construction site of the Batang Lopar 2 bridge yesterday, March 2nd. On the Batang Lopar 2 bridge, Uga said he had a very fruitful discussion with the contractor's representatives during the visit. Meanwhile, on another matter, he said the state government too had the variation of price VOP policy to help contractors to recover in facing the surge in price for construction materials, also due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As such, Uga said it was very important that contractors, including road contractors, played their respective roles in ensuring that they could deliver as scheduled and with the quality expected. State JKR Deputy Director Cassidy Morris, who accompanied Uga, added the iconic bridge could be completed within this year, should the contractor be able more workers.
The construction of the Sarawak Cancer Centre will begin once the federal government officially inks the agreement. Deputy Premier Dato' Sri Sim Gui Hyun said that the sooner the federal government is signed, the sooner the construction will begin its operation.
At the moment, it's just waiting for federal government to sign the agreement and then we'll get going. Because if they don't sign, right, then we build later on.
Reiterating the Premier's offer to build the cancer centre using the state's funds, and the federal government can pay the state back once they are able to. Meanwhile, Dr. Sim said that the Sarawak General Hospital, SGH, and Sarawak Health Department have presented the project's details to the Ministry of Health, pending the number of beds needed for the project.
Depending on whether we want 300 beds, 400 beds, or 500 beds, because depending on how far you think you want to cater for the future, and the 300 beds is about 800 million, 400 beds is about 1 billion, 500 beds is about 1.2 billion.
Kota Samarahan has the potential to emerge further as a major medical centre for the region and a world-class healthcare hub. coupled with the upcoming and current infrastructures that comprise of not just high-quality services, but complementary research and education capacities as well through world-class collaborations.
We also will encourage, hopefully with the cancer center built around the Sarawak Heart Center and with the infectious disease center around it, and then the Unimas Hospital just around it, that will be a medical hub. That's a good start as a medical hub. Because a medical hub means basically is talents development cross pollinated in terms of ideas and so on, because they are all stay together. And then once medical hubs around, then we got potential to develop the whole ecosystem into a health metropolis.
The presence of the Cancer Centre and Sarawak Biodiversity Centre in the near future will rapidly establish itself as a regional referral centre.
Whole ecosystem, meaning that we got the main power come from Unimas, master student, PhD student, UIT, and just around there will continue to provide us postgraduate students. When the heart center now is all the clinical services, and then if any discovery, then can go to Samazaya for manufacturing.
Dr. Sim said this when met by reporters after officiating the Coloproctology 2023 seminar at Pullman Hotel on Friday. Malaysian Society of Colorectal Surgeons President Dr. April Kamenaros Lani said the health sector in Sarawak desperately calls for more colorectal cancer specialists, with only 3 specialists in regards to the colorectal cancer, whereby one of them is in Cebu, while the other 2 are in Kuching, serving at Unimas Hospital and Sarawak General Hospital.
Sarawak at the moment only has 3 colorectal surgeons. 2 of them are based in Kuching and 1 of them is in Cebu. So you're very, very underserved in terms of surgical services for colorectal cancer. Only 3 in the whole state, 2 in Kuching. Yeah.
SGH.
Yes. So 1 in SGH and the other one is based in Unimas.
She added that most of the cancer patients are being treated by general surgeons, but for advanced and complex cases, it is better to have a specialist to deal with such ailments. Dr. April also said that given the very limited number of specialists in the state, it is important to prioritize the training and recruitment of more specialists in this field. She said this when met by reporters after the launching ceremony of the Coloproctology 2023 seminar at Pullman Hotel on Friday.
We have calculated that for Malaysia, ideally we want to have around 200 to 300 colorectal surgeons. At the moment, we have less than 80 in the whole country, and most of them are based in Peninsula.
Therefore, by addressing the shortage of specialists in specific cancer is an important step toward improving the quality of healthcare in the state and ensuring that patients can get the care they need to manage this disease effectively.
Now over in Sarike Division, a temporary flood relief centre at the Jula Sports Complex in Sarike, which opened since Thursday, is extending its operation with 14 individuals from 5 families seeking shelter. However, the temporary flood relief centre at Jonika Rayong Hall in Sri Aman district, which was activated since Wednesday, was closed at 2 p.m. on Friday. Met Malaysia, in a statement issued on Thursday, indicated that an alert level continuous rain warning is forecast in several areas, namely Kuching, Serian, Samarahan, Sri Aman, Betong, Sarike, Cebu, Kanawit and Muka, comprising Tanjung Manis, Daro and Matu. Met Malaysia also advised the public to stay vigilant and to get the latest verified updates on met.gov.my. Non-governmental organizations or NGO and private companies are urged to come forward in helping rescue efforts during the flood season. According to Bomba Sarawak Director Datu Kirudin Rahman, this is a time for all agencies to unite in executing their responsibilities.
Bukan saja syarikat ini kata ambil keuntungan, tapi giving back to the community. That is very important. So dalam kita menghadapi bencana, kita tidak boleh work alone. We can't work alone. We have to cooperate. We have to collaborate. We have to coordinate.
He said this during a brief ceremony of the boat handover from Shenton Sports Supplies to Bomba Sarawak at Batu Lintang Fire and Rescue Station on Friday. Adding further, Khairuddin said a total of 3 boats were loaned to Bomba Sarawak in facilitating the rescue effort of flood victims.
Kesesuaian bot ini memang tidak dinafikan sebab dalam kedalaman air 2 hingga 3 kaki dan keadaan tempat yang mana untuk akses menggunakan bot bomba dengan AJ adalah terlalu sukar. Dan dengan yang ada bot ini mudah diangkat, dipindah dan kita dapat menggunakan bot untuk memindahkan anak-anak, memindahkan orang tua, memindahkan OKU.
Sarawak has been hit by flash flood following continuous heavy rain, which caused flood in several areas, having temporary flood relief centres to be activated.
The federal government will be channeling 50 million ringgit immediate flood assistance to Johor. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the allocation concerned would be used to help flood victims as well as for other urgent needs in the state.
20 juta segera untuk Johor untuk ke bersungai dan untuk bantu mangsa banjir dan apa-apa keperluan yang segera. Dan beberapa menteri turun hari ini, esok sebahagian lagi, dan saya akan atur dalam masa singkat.
He told this to reporters after performing Friday prayers at University Putra Malaysia UPM Mosque on Friday. Earlier, before performing Friday prayers, the Prime Minister took his lunch at Medan Selera Sri Serdang here, accompanied by Selangor Menteri Besar Dato Sri Amiruddin Syari and Puchong MP Yeo Bee Yin.
And several flood-prone areas in Sarawak have been put on alert despite the relatively controlled situation so far. Sarawak District Disaster Management Committee SDDMC Coordinator Michael Ronnie Langong said only one temporary flood relief centre is active since Thursday, which is the Julau Sports Complex, which currently shelters 14 displaced victims from Rumah Edward.
According to Michael, the committee also received a report of a landslide near Rumah Empeni and the cleanup work was done by the Public Works Department.
Ya, buat masa ini keadaan masih terkawal. Cuma kita berharap dari laporan meteorologi Sibu tadi menyatakan memang berlakunya kenaikan air pasang dan juga hujan di 1-2 tempat yang boleh mengakibatkan berlaku keadaan yang lebih serius lagi. Tapi sebelum kita tibanya keadaan yang lebih teruk, kita pun menggesa semua pihak untuk berjaga-jaga. Kesiapsiagaan harus diambil kira dari semua aspek.
All disaster committees at the district level are now activated to facilitate rescue operations and the distribution of aid. Additionally, residents living in low-lying areas and flood risk areas are advised to be on alert and to move immediately upon instructions.
Untuk menangani situasi sekarang ini yang semakin kritikal, khususnya kesan daripada monsun timur laut. Jadi beberapa kawasan berlaku keruntuhan tanah akibat hujan dan banjir dan seterusnya beberapa daerah juga terjejas dan jawatankuasa ini telah mendapatkan maklum balas dan melaksanakan apa-apa yang perlu dilakukan oleh setiap agensi untuk mengingatkan setiap agensi peranan dan juga tanggungjawab mereka dalam menghadapi situasi sekarang ini.
He added the flood relief center in Julau can hold up to 300 victims at the same time.
Coming up right after the break, 185 tennis players vie for 30th Premier Sarawak Cup, and drug gangs linked to shooting attack on Messi's family business. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. 185 tennis players from 33 countries will duke it out to be the world champions of the 38th Premier Sarawak Cup ITF World Tennis Tour Juniors J300 at the Sarawak Lawn Tennis Association Centre from March 14 to 19. SLTA President Dr. Patrick Liu said the Junior Tennis Championship is a prestigious one and Sarawak is one of the main organisers in Southeast Asia.
This trophy is symbol of our most prestigious Premier Cup. So we will keep this cup in the event once running or maybe after my retirement submitted over. We will still enlarge the best, just like what I saw in Davis Cup in ITM London. They have a cup that's worth millions of dollars. They continue for a few hundred years, so that will become a museum collection. So we hope this cup will maintain that prestigious, and of course with the support from the government, corporate sectors, as well as the media and other agencies, that so far the event are run very smoothly. We have zero complaint from the visitors, parents. In fact, last week we had a team from Japan brought in 4 players for 1 week training for the kids. They want to from they went back and come back again. And next week from Kazakhstan, they also want to come here early for a week. They booked the tennis court for practicing. So this is all contributed to the sport tourism as a whole. We're bringing the family members and others.
In the meantime, he hopes that continuous cooperation with the International Tennis Federation and ASEAN Tennis Federation could earn SLTA endorsement and recognition in the world of tennis. In this year's edition, the 3 countries with the most number of participants are Australia with 28 players, China with 19, and Malaysia with 16. The 12.1 billion ringgit allocation to Sarawak and Sabah in the revised budget 2023 was seen as a push for more infrastructural development in both regions. Most notably, an additional 20 billion ringgit was also allocated to expedite the implementation of the Pan-Borneo Highway and the Sabah-Sarawak Link Road. Apart from mega projects, Honorary Fellow at Institute Masa Depan Malaysia, Dr. Madeline Burma, is of the opinion that small infrastructure projects should also be prioritised.
Jadi dan dari segi infrastrukturnya kita masih lagi ketinggalan dan ini adalah cabaran yang terpaksa dihadapi oleh kerajaan negeri. Walaupun kerajaan mempunyai peruntukan yang besar, ada dana sendiri dan sebagainya, tetapi ada yang diperlu ditambah baik oleh peruntukan daripada kerajaan pusat. Ya. Jadi saya mengharapkan kerajaan akan menambahkan peruntukan untuk kita membangunkan feeder road, jalan-jalan kecil dan juga jalan-jalan yang menghubungi kawasan-kawasan pedalaman dengan Perbono itu, feeder road nombor 1. And then yang kedua, kita punya banyak kawasan-kawasan pesisir. Jadi kita juga perlu peruntukan untuk infrastruktur bagi jalan pesisir di negeri Sarawak. Begitu juga untuk kita punya jambatan kita. Kita perlu jambatan untuk menghubungkan kawasan-kawasan yang kita rasa selama ini kita masih lagi menggunakan ferry.
At the same time, Madeline also hopes that other sectors are given due attention, especially the education sector, which is currently bogged down with dilapidated school issues and hardships due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yang lebih penting lagi bagi saya ialah supaya kerajaan memberi peruntukan dana yang khas untuk what we call the lost learning generation. Generasi yang hilang pembelajaran semasa COVID. Ada 2 tahun COVID disebabkan oleh penutupan sekolah dan juga perlunya ada pembelajaran atas talian. Kita melihat ramai di kalangan anak-anak kita yang kehilangan pembelajaran. Jadi bagi saya, selain daripada menyelesaikan masalah sekolah daif, kualiti pendidikan bagi negeri Sarawak juga perlu dipertingkatkan.
Similarly, she said that if the federal government is committed to the development of new alternative energy, it should be included in the budget planning too.
Satu sektor yang saya rasa Sarawak akan berdahului dan juga di mana Sarawak perlu menjadi peneraju iaitu tenaga alternatif. Saya rasa Sarawak kita sudah keterhadapan berbanding negeri-negeri lain, kebanyakan negeri-negeri lain, dan saya mengharapkan kerajaan akan memberi keutamaan dan membantu Sarawak dari segi ini, iaitu kita memajukan tenaga alternatif.
She noted that Sarawak is currently ahead of other states in the production of hydrogen energy.
The High Court has acquitted and discharged Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak and former One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB CEO Arul Kandasamy of a charge in relation to the 1MDB audit tampering case. Justice Mohammed Zani Maslan, who is currently a Court of Appeal judge, ruled that the prosecution had failed to establish a prima facie case against the duo at the end of the prosecution's case. He said Arul Kanda, who was called as the prosecution witness, had made truthful and full discovery during the trial. Najib, 70, who is currently serving a 12-year jail sentence in Kajang Prison for misappropriating SRC International Sundian Berhad's funds, is charged with using his position to order amendments to the 1MDB final audit report before it was presented to the Public Accounts Committee to avoid any action being taken against him. While Arul Kanda, 46, is charged with abetting Najib in making the amendments to the report to protect Najib from being subjected to action. The offence was allegedly committed at the Prime Minister's Department Complex, Federal Government Administrative Centre, Putrajaya between February 22 and 26, 2016. Both of them were charged under Section 23(1) of the MACC Act, which provides for a jail term of up to 20 years and a fine of no less than 5 times the amount of gratification or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher, upon conviction. Thank you for staying with me. And now on to our world affairs. The shooting attack on a supermarket belonging to the family of Antonella Lorcuzzo, wife of soccer star Lionel Messi, on Thursday, March 2 morning has reopened the debate on the wave of drug violence in northeastern Argentina. Argentine Security Minister Animal Fernandez said the attack is typical of those that have been happening in Rosario for the past 20 years.
Fernandez said the national government is working to combat insecurity in the region.
Y si yo le digo que hace 20 años que están en esta situación, ¿usted cree que no han ganado? Han ganado, ahora hay que revertirla. ¿Nosotros estamos dispuestos a revertirla? Sí. Nosotros sí, seguro que sí. Por eso desde el primer momento estamos con todo nuestro personal de las 4 fuerzas, que son más de 3.500 efectivos, e invirtiendo dinero nacional para tratar de revertir esa situación y porque estamos convencidos que es el camino. Y los resultados los tenemos, 2.077 detenidos en el 2022. No es una casualidad.
2 people on motorbikes were involved in the Thursday morning incident. A threatening handwritten message for 35-year-old Messi, Argentina's captain and 7-time World Player of the Year, was also left on the shop door. Television images showed bullet casings on the sidewalk where the front of the building was hit by 14 bullets, to which the premises has remained closed. The murder rate in Rosario is among the highest in Argentina, as gangs linked to drug trafficking coexist, according to judicial complaints, and clashes causing injuries and deaths are frequently reported.
And a skyscraper under construction in the heart of Hong Kong's historic shopping and tourist district was left scorched on Friday by a massive fire, with the authorities saying the blaze had been largely extinguished. The building's concrete walls were left blackened and in tatters on Friday morning as municipal workers swept roads clean of debris.
Officials said the fire broke out at 11 p.m. on Thursday in the heart of Sim Sha Tsui, a busy shopping and tourist district on the city's harbourfront, and was largely put out by 8:30 a.m. the next day. A major section of the neighborhood's main Nathan Road thoroughfare, one of Hong Kong's main transport lifelines, had been shut, the authorities said, causing traffic disruptions. No casualties had been reported, with 2 people treated for minor injuries, the fire department said. Officials reported that 170 people from nearby residential blocks were relocated to a safe distance. The 42-story skyscraper that caught fire was close to completion and part of a 6 billion Hong Kong dollar redevelopment project by the developer Empire Group. The cause of the fire has yet to be ascertained.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shal Shamato. Thank you for watching.